Ambush. Guys and gals, I am sorry. If you're just coming in now and you missed the start, which is going to be everyone, because this is not a day we stream on Sundays. We decided to give you back your weekends weeks ago. But I'm really excited at the moment. There's some things that have happened in the back play, not just for me, but for others that I know. And it's good news. And I dig other people's happiness. When you have successes, I'm happy for you too. You can probably tell by the thumbnail that I spent the weekend trying to learn how to do Photoshop. Wait 2 seconds there, team. I'm just going to improve these lights for you. Hopefully this is a much wanted stream tonight. Hopefully it's something that will take away your opportunity to watch Big Brother and dig even deeper into the negativity of this planet. But, oh, Jesus, it's bright. But here we are. We've got Proud Australian here, proud too. We've got Australia memorabilia all over the thumbnail for this video, and you see a broken ICB, the Infantry Combat Badge, which shows the imperfection of those that represent you every day in some facet, with the flag in the background again. You can see on the badge, which I used as the model, wait 2 seconds, bam, the word lion appears. The word mate appears. Courage. Sometimes, not always. Peter Cram, Exo Challenger. G'day, mate. Fire Live. JC, the brother in blue. We've got the gunner, Garador. That's a cool name. Make sure you subscribe, Gunner Garador. I don't have someone like you. We've got JJ made it. So did Zachy Reeves. We've got Delhi. We've got Hem Hamoudi. Good to have you here, mate. Spartan Mouth. I don't know what you've done with that mouth, mate, but hopefully it wasn't keeping other Spartans warm, so to speak. Dave D, good to have you here, mate. Favourite bra size right up. We've got Skillist Law. Guys, my eyes are about as useful as me brown one these days. No one told me about 45 years old what happens to your eyes. I'm 49, some GST. Holy shit. Neville bloody Bartos. And we've got the hooligan here. What do you think about what's going on with the soccer at the moment, the damage they're doing everywhere? We've got Zach. No one's ever going to pick you for the duty board, mate. They go by the surnames, and if your name starts with A, you're pretty well screwed. We've got Ryanopoulos. G'day, mate. How's things? William. Here we go. William Holland representing his Patreon number as well. And straight below is Lauren, who is shining, who was the actual inspiration for tonight's stream. I was basically in a bath, not a British bath, which has got the whole family in. I was in there by myself, partly because I needed to warm up a little bit, but also I was thirsty and needed to get clean. It's the monthly bath. I was first comment. Let's go back and have a look. It's got Proud Australian here as the first comment, but if you just want to fight it out between yourselves, I'm happy. I'll bet on Gunner for this one. Proud Australian. We'll see how you go. We've got Jackie the turtle there. Beats the turtle in the hare in the first race. We've got Stoddy the medic. Jackie Turtle. Hi, Lauren. We've got Jordan. Michael, great to have you here. This is the Forever Channel. Right now, if you can, if you haven't already, subscribe. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you subscribe to the channel that is here for you? And put a thumbs up if you do, and make sure you put a thumbs down if you don't like it. Everything I do. Jordan Andrews. Wad Z or Wads01. Hola. Bit of Spain there or Portugal. Good to have you here, mate. Buenas noches. Gunner Garador and Kynan Peppers. G'day, mate. And we've got the big I6. How we going there, Navy Contestador? Great to have you, mate. I hope the boys are looking after each other. We had a fantastic chat with a guy named Jaden tonight. I won't say his last name. Same rules for the dentist. He's actually going to be a submariner, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. and Bigger Wide Six know that he's got a fantastic role ahead of him. But again, there's going to be some freaky testing, I believe, for psychological means to make sure that he can handle the confined space, so to speak. Like a married woman's key card. It hates being trapped inside a purse. It's just got to get out, get some fresh air. Josh Harmer, hey man, finished at Kapuka now. That's awesome, Josh. As you can see, it feels like a mountain at the time, but it's a molehill. You make some good friends there, but then you leave them behind. Go to IETs, make some better ones who are more in tuned, in key with the way you roll, so to speak. Dave D. We've got some good photos today from Paulie, who was on the track. Where was it? It was out in the sticks anyway. It looked like something out of Missing 411. Okay, Hamoudi, my name's Mohammed. Good to have you here, Mohammed. First time in your life. I'm 17. My goal is to be an infantry soldier. Well, mate, that is a fantastic goal. And as long as you are willing to represent, okay, your brothers, okay, your country, your family, etc., it's going to be a bloody good life for you, mate, and you're very welcome. Don't go in thinking that there's any sort of innuendo that you're not welcome, because you are. We don't care about anything to do with your background as long as when the chips are down, okay, you're our brother. That's all that matters. Allah Akbar to you. MVids, USS Wasp here. G'day to you guys too. Give the cabin boy a slap on the coit for me, and hopefully he's having the stream with us as well. That's a pretty good name, the Wasp. It's got some sting in it, so to speak. JC, Lauren Neville, bloody Bardos, Madison. It's good to have the ladies here. It sort of shows us that we're not completely blowing everything out of the water, so to speak. We've got Garp here. Good evening, troops and potential troops. That's right. Lots of money in subs, Kaz. Had testing, but definitely worth it. We're going to talk about, that's going to be the first topic we're going to speak about tonight there, Big Eyed Six and the Wasp. You guys are the ones that know about that sort of stuff and the sort of people that do it. So if Jaden, if you're watching right now, mate, we spoke about this while I was in the bath. Don't mind the pun there, so to speak. But basically what happens is the difference between the military, army, infantry, and navy, in the Navy, McHale's Navy, Gilligan, Popeye, spinach eating fuck, Karuni, better not swear, otherwise Mike might go bop, is they get seagoing allowance. I know you don't join the military just to get the finances. You go there for the stability, the big adventure, the fun, etc. But with the Navy, there's something special that occurs. You are just as operational when you get into your boat ship, okay, and you get out beyond the Australian waters. You become operational, which means, tell me if I'm wrong, you don't pay tax. You're classed as on tour, so to speak. If you're a submariner, you get an additional allowance on top of seagoing allowance. And even when you're at shore, you can still get paid the seagoing allowance, etc., because your boat is it's inactive. It's an active vessel, which means the Navy becomes fairly lucrative until you have a missus and kids and hate the getting away. But either way, you're still going to have a room to yourself or to a couple that you choose buddies. Living on a boat is not the best for infantry. We'll pack 30 into a room and we'll be 3 or 4 high, so to speak. So when someone farts on the top bunk, it tends to go downhill, or on the bottom, hot air rises, we all get nuked. Did you know it hasn't rained in the Antarctica for over 2 million years, yet everyone that visits the place wears a raincoat? I don't understand why. I was watching documentaries on it today. It was amazing. It was beautiful, but you're looking at around 30 grand plus to go there for a holiday, and that's for about 12 or 13 days, and that's only per person. You need a second hombre to be in the cabin with you. So if you're rich, imagine that. If you're a multimillionaire, imagine paying for a family, saying, this is my thing to you, you're a great family. I'm going to give you state-of-the-art camper van, so to speak, and send them around the world on safari, to do a YouTube channel, and that's their whole job. Educate from the van, and just have a great life. Where's the big Aaron J. Dixon? Mate, he's bringing up the family over in Richmond, about half an hour away. I wish he was here every time, but that's not always the case. And I wasn't even meant to be on tonight. This Cotton Eye Joe wood cutting outfit, not a callus to be seen on these hands, but we do have a few announcements for you. Ronnie File, Kaz, mate, someone's had a beer tonight. Jaden, I got the Married with Dependents Assessment Day, and I've been studying so much. You don't have to worry about the with dependents so much, because at the end of the day, they will take care of that at Kapuka. They'll take care of that at your IET school, and they'll actually look after your family better than they'll look after you, mate. Hey, Sam, how you going? Piravano. That's a good name. MP. Don't get me for speeding when I go for a run, sir. G'day, Kaz. Combat engineer or infantry? Depends on your age. Depends on how good you are with your hands. If you just want mateship, if you want to do the lion's life, so to speak, sleep in the prairie, balls in the air, waiting for trouble, but when it comes, we pay the biggest price. Engineer, good with hands, multiple trades, ticketed up, but they work too damn hard. I'd rather be in danger, right, and work less than be a bit safer, and work a hell of a lot more. There's no light at the end of the tunnel for engineers. No sooner have you finished a bridge than you may be creating a avenue of movement for someone else. We're going to talk tonight a little bit about the difference between infantry and cav, because someone asked me a question on that today, and I think that's very interesting as well. Jay Hayes, Western Australia, West Side, not cerebral palsy. Good to have you here, sir. Jaden Clemenson, no, mate, mine's a maritime warfare officer. Okay, I thought you meant married with dependents. Sorry, buddy. Michael Stott says, let's laugh my next video, how to cook a gooey duck. That sounds disgusting. There's no reason to eat a duck unless it has been prepared by Asians, because they do the best job. Kaz Gunner 8-9, Brisbane bound is Ronnie. Temperature's fine. A little bit of a travel to the to Shoalwater Bay, etc. But you'll meet up with your brothers again when you start doing subject courses, and then you'll end up in another battalion. So you'll get around, she said. Harry Tame, how is Rona in Melbourne? We have been put on standby. I've got no idea what that is. No idea. Slim Jim Bob, infantry all the way. Yeah, well, that's what I'd say. I'm infantry. I like me time out. I like slapping backs and, seeing how much cheese one man can eat, and then watch how long it takes him to get a turd out, 4 days later when he starts to think that his lower half ain't working. It's happened to me too. Snowy, should I got an ad coming into your stream, mate? I'm not sure what that's about. Nev, we miss you when you're not here. Yes, we do. You actually become a part of the furniture. All of a sudden, when someone's name's not here and then you pop in a couple of streams later, it's a fantastic thing for us. I hate it when, like Bird of the Desert, haven't seen him for ages, and I miss Bird of the Desert. It was my favourite name of the channel. The Squawker. Tree Man, how you going, vegetarian? Combat engineer is full. Depends who you are. Emma C, what's up? Little late. No, you're not, Emma. Okay. Unless you are, and I hope you know the father. I'm being cheeky. David Bradford. G'day from Kingswood, mate. G'day, David Bradford. How you going, mate? That's only just up the road. I went there to go to the laundromat to go and look for someone who looked like they were hard down their luck to give a dryer to and a washing machine, and we ended up finding one of my mates vouched for someone. We got it for him instead. Couldn't believe it. Not one person in a laundromat. I thought Mrs. Wright might be there. Stoddy. Gav used horsepower to get around. Infantry used foot power. Yeah, but at the moment, all the infantry battalions are going to motorised and mechanised, which can be a goddamn mistake. We shouldn't be chasing our previous deployments. Not edgy, mate. We disowned them when I was in. There you go. South is fishing. Anyone remember me? Of course I do. Of course. Spartan Mouth Kaz, thoughts on people in the entertainment industry, Hollywood, using their large following to voice politics? I'm sick of it. Everyone's sick of it, mate. That's why Hollywood is in so much drama. And the one subject that's really hurting them the most is those that have been saying they are responsible, that they're taken responsible, white guilt, so to speak. Greg Gutfeld said an amazing thing, or was it Jesse Waters on the 5? And he basically said, no, it was Greg Gutfeld. He says, I have more in common with black winners than what I have in common with white losers. This is not a color thing. If this was really about color, people would be at Chicago at the moment asking why so many children under the age of 10 are getting bullet wounds on a weekly basis. No one is going to the gangs. No one is going to the pieces of shit that are taking lives daily who aren't feeling bad about what they do. You don't even hear the names that are the victims of gang violence. Yet you hear about and we all know the George Floyd situation. Everyone was for George Floyd, but you don't hear his name. All you see is people behaving badly, seeing where they can get free shit. And it's going to come back and bite them on the ass. Team, we were in a situation at the moment where we cannot afford for USA to drop the ball at the moment. They're not fighting for an election at the moment. They're fighting for exactly what the US is going to look like for the next 30, 40 years. If the Republicans now, not even necessarily the Republicans, because a lot of them aren't doing their job either, if they fall and the radical side gets in, that's cancelling everyone, that's in YouTube, that's in Google, that's in all of these areas that tell you what you can and cannot say, if they actually get some real power, we are in real trouble. And you know who's in the most trouble? Is our schools. Our children will not be able to be protected from it. And as it is, every single day, I see every channel, when you stop in there for a few minutes, who are being hand up the butt, except for Sky, by the US left-leaning media moguls. And, they've been printed on Australia as well. So whatever happens to the US, it's going to follow suit in Australia. Rest be assured. ADM, that's a fantastic thumbnail you've got there. Quantum Peppers, Emma. She comes around. Family support is important. What was that one about? Emma say, hey, Lauren, good news. My mum is still against the army, but we are back to speaking terms. Emma, I bet she's not against being protected by the army. That's the funny thing. We've got a beautiful situation today where I was having a cup of coffee with Lyndon Arkell, who is one of the managers of the coffee shop around the corner. And I was in there today at the Churros house. Hey, Robbie Kent, I hope the dog is going well, my man. And basically just 25 nicker turned up in my bank account, saying thank you for what you do, from a gentleman who I won't mention his name because I'm not sure if he wants me to, whose son is in the military. Right? It was a really nice thing. And I was thinking, here is a parent who is insanely proud of their child for following the footsteps of the Anzacs, having a career, stability, somewhere to go, customs and traditions, law-abiding citizen. And then we've got the bipolar, the other side, which don't want their kid doing it at all, but don't necessarily offer a solution or a real reason why. Do your research, parents. Don't cut your child's ability to dream and reach for the stars to disappear because you may have a half-educated view, or is it because you don't want them to leave home? You can't pay your kids pocket money all their lives and then expect them to come out well. Jared, no worries, mate. Yes. Juke. Words twice. It's about free stuff, Kaz. Oh, you're talking about the left, yeah. It's crazy, mate. And they're getting further and further. This damaging of statues is driving me absolutely crazy. And now they're saying Mount Rushmore might be the next target. Absolutely horrible. You do not damage history. You don't, because it reminds you about the future. And remember, no matter how bad it seems. This one's for the Wasp, the Albatross, okay, and for Big-Eyed Six, skilled sailors aren't made in still waters. Remember that. It is trials and tribulations. It is getting knocked down, getting back up again that make us a better version of us, that make us realize we're human, which gives us compassion. It tests us. We know how we respond to pressure, so to speak. There's one saying I really, really hate because it doesn't make goddamn sense. And I really, really detest it. And you always hear it on these motivational sort of people, and it makes them look stupid when they go, if you fall down 100 times, you get up 1,000 times. You go, what? You can't get up more times than what you've fallen down. Speak English. It's stupid. It makes you look dumb. If that's the way you motivate, if you're a PT out there, makes sense. If you get knocked down 100 times, get up 100 times and try again. Don't get up 1,000 times after falling down 100. Doesn't make sense. The young potato. Is the asthma rule the thing the same for the Air Force and Navy? I do not know. But having spoken to a young lass whose son is in the 6th Battalion who had asthma, who passed the lung expansion testing and got in and got best PT at Kapuka, understand there is wiggle room no matter what your situation is. And that's why we tell you don't get too excited about the be-all, end-all when Kaz says something or Michael Stott says something or JC or Lauren says something. That doesn't make it gospel. It means it's kind of an SOP, a standard operating procedure. Sure, but there might be something about your case that makes you different. And different can be better than good. Third course of action. It's always a good one. JC, a mate of mine is in the public eye and is posting more stuff about Black Lives Matter and Aboriginal deaths in custody. I'm annoyed why he is only speaking up now to keep up with the fashion. Yeah, I jumped onto a channel today where someone was basically saying, sorry, on behalf of all white people. I was like, please, mate, stop. No one does more for black people in the entire world than white people. White lawyers, young white liberals, you need to either shut it or at least do some research on your subject. The saddest thing is those that choose careers that are on the coalface, that know the truth by law and not allowed to tell you what the truth is. So some people will watch a YouTube video, someone who looks hip, cool, who has a skateboard, like mine back here, and they believe them like there's some sort of oracle. But it's not hard to dig underneath and find out, no, that was topical. It's like the Instagram when all the black screens came on. Martin Luther King judged someone by the bloody quality, by the content of their character than their skin color. Yet we're seeing the exact opposite. Chaz, the town up in Seattle that's been taken over. Now there's gunshots every night and the mayor is going, it's not love anymore. What's going on? What have you done to my city? Federal, can you please pay for the damage, but we don't want you to come in and break it up? The truth. Go to Chicago, Illinois, go to Louisiana, go to a lot of those places and you won't see the violence is coming from anyone, that wears a badge on their chest. Crazy. We're seeing operational statistics, casualty statistics coming out of some of these cities, black on black violence, okay, which is more than some of our Middle East contested cities' violence levels. It's insane. And you don't hear people. Anyway, Tom Moody, g'day, mate. Brody Higgins, Perth, myself, Westside. Aaron's over there too. We've got Anton. Okay, it's glad I managed to catch a stream. Found your channel a little while ago, and and it's been gold so far. Well, Anton, it's quite easy to have a channel like mine for the simple reason there's so few people out there that are kind of telling the truth, or are not afraid to speak a little bit of bullshit, so to speak, a bit of fake news, but at least let you know I'm about to swim outside the flags, but not afraid to do so. This is opinion. I don't have time to reach all the facts on every subject because we're also a swinging sail, so to speak, on a stormy lake where you as chat can take us in any direction. And I like it that way. It's great. Some ask, why do we talk about army all the time? And you go, that's because the chat talks about army. You're the people. I'm on the box, rickety box. But I'm quite happy to speak about anything you want to speak about. This is your stream, man. I won't dance for views, but I'll sing for them. Make sure you, we got Anton here. Good to have you here, Anton, says Lauren with the one hand. And also the hang loose symbol for Brody. She would see that happening, Jimmy. I'm also West Side. There you go. We've got a whole flock of yous. What do they call a bunch of people from Western Australia? A flock? What else did we have here that we're talking about today? Yeah, well, that's an interesting one. You could make a whole video on some of these topics that really you need to have multiple people involved, like a Zoom session, so you could actually watch a conversation go down where you're seeing alternate views that are speaking about the same subject, so you actually walk away without an echo chamber, okay, but alternating views, and even an education lesson. Because I know I need an education on a lot of subjects, but I'm open to learning, and that's the most important thing. Michael Stott says BLM doesn't touch the drugs and alcohol issues. No, they don't. Deaths in Aboriginal communities done by other Aboriginals, that's too hard, okay? The BLM got themselves in the shit because they're saying that they're peaceful. They're not peaceful, and I believe they're terrorists. And they also got caught out saying, one of their spokesmen, we're going to burn it down. You're going, huh? What are you talking about? Burn it down? You're not supposed to be using violence to be able to bring in a political statement. There's words for that. Jimmy's West Side. Sup? Anthony or Tony. Hey, team, is anyone else who's going to Kapooka in August? That's a cold month too, mate. But that's coming out of the colder months. So you're going to get hit by the heat as well. Dave, shouldn't shout out to anyone here who's one RAR. The big blue one. Are you blue because you're blue? That's another statement I've never understood, Dave. I've never liked that one. We're blue because we're blue. You're going, what? That's why we're second to none, because of that statement. 2 RAR and 1 RAR team have had an ongoing friction between them, all right, since before 1949 when we got the prefix royal. But it's a good thing. It's a healthy thing. You wouldn't want two football teams to always be hugging each other going, oh, no, you're the best, mate. No, we're the best. 1 RAR and 2 RAR, when they come together, and 3 RAR, when the instructors meet each other and they realise, oh, you're from Townsville too, yep, arm shakes like Romans. Why? Because normally we'd be almost considered enemies on the sporting field, in Flinders Street, lining up for Cactus Jack's, the best authentic Mexican food in the world. Australian made, of course. It's amazing. But, they are our brothers. And if you mess with one, you mess with the other. You can't come to 2 RAR if you're not from infantry and rag out 1 RAR to us, because we will represent them as well. Royal Australian Regiment. Dave, when you get a chance, have a look at the thumbnail for this video, mate. I really like what we created today on one of our fledgling thumbnails designed on Photoshop with a broken down ICB badge, etc. I think you'll like it, other than the picture of my head on there. Kine and Peppers. Lauren could do heaps of fundraising to help people in need. I'm not sure what that's about. Lauren's got some fantastic news, but I can't share that because it's Lauren's news. But it's pretty cool. Guess what else we're going to do, team? Guess what else? Leo, how we going, mate? Stuntman for life. Boom. Not too cow. Thank you very much, sir. Can we have a rule tonight? If there is any super chat, so to speak, Can we just have a $2 night where no one goes over $2? The rules have already been broken by Leo Wankham. He didn't know the rules before he did it. But let's not have any crazy stuff, the oranges and the yellows and all that sort of stuff. If you're going to make a donation, let's make it $2. All right. No more than that. All right. Kane, how you going, mate? Mr. Buckaroony's here too, is he? G'day, Buckaroony. I'll let you know something too. For the longest time, I haven't told you is Cactus Jackson, you're teasing me. You're teasing me with that name, son. If I was Mr. Buckaroony, I'd be there now instead of watching this. So, Mr. Buckaroony, I've kept some of his work life off the table so that you didn't have dispersions on that or understand where he is. But Mr. Buckaroony, okay, not only has he been military, but he's also been a police officer, and now he works in the prison system with a lot of my friends. Some of them are close to best friends, brothers, so to speak, from the 2nd Battalion, from the 2nd 4th Battalion, Royal Australian Regiment. So he's out there representing, and I don't know too many people that have given more to this country than what that bloke has as an emergency service or as a sheepdog, so to speak. So it's great to have you here, Mr. Buckaroony, and he's got a fantastic channel, a great channel. An outdoor guy. Ryan Ward, who's 2RR's mascot? 1RR. Ryan. Bam. Slam. We had a pig for a while called Wilson. Jesus, it was a big boy. A big boy could drink nearly a carton of beer, and people would give it to him too. He loved it. Cotton Peppers, JC, what would it keep you busy? Cactus Jacks. I found out some sad news too, that Aaron Vidal, when I was looking on Facebook, I saw Aaron Vidal and I went, the police officer just lost his life. I didn't realise I knew him. And he was from the 2nd Battalion too. So I rang up to some 2RR lads that told me about what a lovely bloke he was. Just lost his life, in a tragic negligence / accident that occurred to his lovely wife at the moment. I don't know how she's going to get through this because they've got a child on the way as well. Very, very sad. He didn't have a GoFundMe up that we could contribute towards either at this stage, but I'll keep my eyes out. Dave. Lauren. She's Miss Buccaneer. Okay, to themselves. Dave is saying 1RR versus 2RR rugby is the best sporting event in the country. At the end of the day, we push each other to be better. The rivalry is an advantage to both units. And Dave, as you know, that also flows onto operational theatres, onto courses. The best thing you can do as an infantry soldier, forget Kapuka. That's black and white there. Forget about recruiting, so to speak. Do your time, go to the School of Infantry, because you'll meet other like-minded people, fit soldiers, section commanders from 1RR, 2RR, 3RR, 5, 7, 6, and 8, 9. It will allow you to pick up all the little good to knows that come from all the other battalions as you pollinise those ideas, and then go back, and that'll make you a better platoon sergeant, because you normally leave the School of Infantry as a section commander, you leave and you go back as a platoon sergeant. There you go. In actual fact, I think that you shouldn't go back as a platoon sergeant. You should go then to another unit and do the administrational side of being a platoon sergeant, so you get happy within your rank, so you can go back a little bit wiser about the situations. Because when you're a section commander and you go back to the battalion as a platoon sergeant, one, it's a massive leap, because you've gone and been a section commander at the School of Infantry, so to speak, and then go away as a sergeant. Straight away you've got the sergeant stripes back. You were a section commander a few weeks ago, and now you're going to go back a lot of times to the battalion you came from, where you've got a cult of familiarity with those at your same level, and now you've got the sergeant stripes. So you're still giggling at the thought of being called platoon sergeant or sergeant, while having to stamp on people that inadvertently force you to be the bad guy at times. Yeah. And if you're going to be a really good advisor to a platoon commander, you want someone who's happy and confident within the rank. PK, Nutsu Cow, my favourite chewing gum. Kaz, OK called this morning, says hi now. He's in week 4. So he's made it past the danger period. Week 4 means you're probably not going to leave for attitude after that. That means that you understand now what the game is. You've started to learn the language. You know the personalities within your platoon, within your structure. You know that your either instructors at Kapooka or your section commanders at the School of Infantry aren't bulletproof either. They put their pants on just like you do. And from there, you can relax a little bit, get into a routine and miss the colonel's legs. Kentucky Fried Chicken legs, I mean. Mr. Buccarini, I spent half the day on YouTube. So do I, mate. Learning is a great thing. Ricky Middleton. That's a cool name. I'm enlisting on the 26th of October. Thanks for the help, Cass. It's all right. They should call infantry the lead farmers. Looking forward to it. Lead farmers? Lead farmers? All right. Have an admin sergeant role. It sucks, admin. It really sucks. You have heard me say before, Dave, what do you think about this? That we go back to the old times where there's actually people, we've got APS people. Think about this one, team. Tick like while you can or subscribe if you haven't yet. But imagine this. You go to infantry. Your pledge to the Australian people of Vote for the Affirmation is that you're going to represent them to seek out and close the enemy, kill or catch them, seasonal ground, pellet, attack by day or night, regardless of season, weather, or terrain. Your job was never about paperwork, and nor should it be. So I think what they should have, if they've got APS in the police, if they've got APS roles in other parts of the military, why don't they have APS clerical staff down to platoon level so that platoon commanders can actually go and become actual leaders rather than paper pushers, rather than be a logistical driven nightmare through OH&S and reporting with a platoon sergeant. Let them do what they're meant to do. Let them go out and make mistakes in peace so they can prepare for the threat at hand when it occurs. That's what I reckon. And you know what? We'd save money while making jobs. There we go. There's one. ADF commander. How about we look at that instead of paying people to get sexual reassignments that they could always turn back on if they want to later. Be nice to have 9 full-strength battalions, Cass. It'd be great, Mr. Buccarini. And we're seeing at the moment that military can be getting used domestically. Instead of the copper being there, doing everything, what we can have is the soldier with a smile on his face, tipping the slouch hat. How you going, ma'am? Getting around, because what's one thing that's missing from our society these days? Go and try and find me a packet of soldiers. You won't find them. Toy soldiers, cowboys and Indians. Classed as racism now. All these things are the reason why people were motivated to go, I want to be a soldier. I don't want to be a cowboy or an Indian. Rodeo clown? Maybe. Not fit enough anymore. My back is screwed. But why would someone ever want to be a soldier if they've never seen one? And then we even have the fear. Oh, don't wear a uniform home from work. Don't agree with it. Deal with the problem if it occurs. Oh, a soldier got targeted. Yeah, well, let's target the person who targeted the soldier. Dave, I got medical discharged as a Lance Jack. That's the worst rank in the Army, Lance Jack. So never did Sergeant's course, mate. But I know what you mean. Picking up new skills when exposed to other units is bloody important and useful. And one of the good things it does too, Dave, is it amplifies what you don't know. I didn't realize what I didn't know until I started seeing people who could do my job better than been in for less amount of time. And I was like, wow, there's a learning curve right there. But you know what I did? Instead of getting butt sore over it, I doppelganged them. I just stole what they did right. And every time I see Lauren do something right, I steal that. Timmy Dowse, I'll have some of that too, thanks. Let's not leave out Mr. Buccaroony or Jay Hayes. We'll take some of that too. And then when you end up is people go, geez, that person seems smart. And I go, no, they're the summary of everything they've ever heard. The parrot, so to speak. Modi, double dipping right there. Mate, not too cow, but like we said, team, please keep the donations if you're going to make them tonight down to $2. You've been more than loyal this month. Have a bit of a rest. So we've seen one of our Patreon members here, Modi. Hey, Cass, can you have a quick look at Corporal Leslie Bull Allen? And even though it was not a direct order, should he have received the VC? Interesting one. One sec. I'll take a quick photo of that. That's a smarter way to do it, Kaz. Bang. And we had some messages there. What's going on? Gooey duck. Thanks, Lauren. What did I say? My eyes they're failing me, team. Lauren is shining. I think I might be having an early night tonight, Mr. Buckarini. I will be. Lauren's been working really hard on the computer, and my computer's been working really hard at not playing the game. Modi, thank you for everything you do too, mate. Thank you for everything you do. He's a real contributor. And I mean in messaging, not necessarily just in Nutsu Cow. Dave, a shiny new lieutenant is only as good as his NCO. Yep, and that's why he's got to trust him. He can't hear his NCOs bagging him out behind his back. He deserves the trust. He's at the helm, so to speak. His decisions either sink or swim an entire platoon, and with that comes the morale, which is the most important thing at all. With time, the good ones spend time learning from them. That's right. Sticky Man, Kaz is making bank this month. It appears that way. It appears that way. I might get a sex change if I get it up, if it gets enough. And I might become a man. Airsoft. I'm in year 10 and I want to join the Australian Army. What do I need to do to know to join? You know, there's only one thing you need to know to join there, Airsoft, and that's to watch this channel. Because I can tell you one thing. Everyone that comes to this channel has a significantly better chance of doing well. Once they get to Kapooka, by being in this channel in itself is a life preserver that teaches you, don't panic. You're fine. This is what's going to happen. No dramas. Expect it. No dramas at all. So what's also going to happen, Mr. Airsoft, is I've got about 6 videos that are getting ready to come out in the next few days. And these are training tools. They're going to be geared around universal 3-second cadences, but there's also going to be a series of fitness videos where you get to compete against Kaz, where you will see on the video me having my best effort, and then you can have a crack, good form, at beating me. So you're using me as a to push you along, to motivate, so to speak, but at the same time yourself. Before we can do any of these videos, before you can go to the PFA, before you go to the assessment day to the military, Navy, Army, it's important, imperative that you know one thing, what your diagnostic fitness ability is, so you can speak with confidence. Did you say the connection's going sick, is it? What do I mean by that? When I want to find out a group's fitness level, okay, all I simply do is test them. Warm up, then test them. How many push-ups can you do in 2 minutes? Show me. Okay, I'll show you. How many dips can you do in 2 minutes? How long can you platform for? 3 minutes? 3 minutes, I'll be happy if you can do 3 minutes. What about push-ups? What about sit-ups? Or can you swim 200 meters? If you can do those things and your mind is good too, you're apples. From there, you've already got a steady platform because you can communicate about it. You have a rock bottom level that you can go, well, now when I train, all I've got to do is beat that and incrementally keep beating that. Look at a guy called Nick Dare. He was a platoon commander over in the US, and he went on, now is a fitness freak, bodybuilder, marathon, triathlon. That guy is good to go. Crazy. JJ, anyone here know a Submariner for advice? Oh, this is Jaden. JJ, is that you? Jaden. Sorry, buddy. Submariner. I had a pizza sub once or twice. Aaron Mills never comes up short. Sandy Lambert, that's a good name. Thoughts on the reserves, Kaz? I want to join and see if I like it, then go full time. Sandy, no, I don't entertain that. I don't like try before you buy. You need to be committed. If this is a dream job, I don't want people that are uncommitted beside people that are committed. That's a dangerous way to go. You can go for Army Reserve because you have family. You can go for Army Reserve because you're already employed in something, but Army Reserve is not a career. Don't get there. Get comfortable with Tuesday nights, some weekends, and 2 weekends a year. And 2 weeks a year after you've done your Kapuka, etc. That's equivalent to being a Nasho. Fine. But the Army gets a lot out of it. You won't get taxed. That's a pretty good one. 4 years. Just commit yourself. Sandy, you'll be laughing. Sandy made me think of Monkey Magic then. Just go on for 4 years. Go and try and join the military. But make sure that you go for the core you want to go through, and then you'll be around great people. Otherwise, you're going to feel like you're always half-cooked. Yeah, I'm trying to help you out here. I'm not trying to be a critic, okay? Army Reserve's fine. It's good, but it's not a career. It's meant to be the MSG, the top-up of something else you're doing, i.e. accountant. Boring as hell, but brings in the dough. What do I want to do so that I don't go crazy doing that? Okay, I do infantry instead in Army Reserve, because then I can go and do shooting that I don't pay for, doing adventures, mini big adventures, etc. Wearing the uniform, Australian patch, wear it proudly, salute. Do you know at one stage it was considered proper that you were supposed to salute unaccompanied females too? And we used to do that. When a woman used to come into the battalion, whether she was a wife, whether she was a girlfriend who was going to meet someone, etc., and you were on the guard box, officer comes in, naturally, stand fast, sir, morning, afternoon, etc. But when a woman came in, unaccompanied, you were meant to do that. And I thought to myself, I feel sort of compromised there. When there's one woman in a car coming to see one person or a person of 700 men, I'm going, it's not a real appropriate place for ladies to be chilling out. Why am I actually rewarding her with the "you're a lady" salute? Often the ladies that went to the lines were anything but. They were trouble, a lot of them. Peter Kynan, yeah, you're not wrong. Lauren, Pigsy, there you go. Monkey Magic. Everyone knows that they don't have chest hair. Stickman, reserves is for people who already left full-time, yes, or they have a genuine civilian commitments like uni or a very skilled role. It's a fantastic one for university, but it can be really dangerous because you can start to get excited about tax-free money, about getting away from the books for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks doing a course, and then come back and end up not qualifying in anything. Okay, so be careful of that too. You can poison your garden. There you go. Lauren used to get saluted. See, it used to happen. I'd salute you, Lauren. No problems. Break them in half, Stoddy. Then you'll have 4. I'm not sure what that's about. Corporal Banjo. Corporal. Hey, Kaz, do you think cadets helps in the ADF? Are the courses like promos in cadets? I don't know. It's a tough one, mate. I don't know if cadets helps at all because it can teach a lot of bad, what do you call it? There can be bad habits, just like Army Reserve can have bad habits, just like infantry regular can be some bad habits going into commandos. Some of the things commandos do can have bad habits going into SASR. It depends on how long you're at cadets for. I wouldn't tell people that you're a cadet. It's not going to blow anyone's hair back. It could feel like you think that you're a bigger deal than everyone else that puts on the pants the same way when they go in. Cadets aren't paid. Cadets is a fantastic thing for giving a little bit of law and order, a bit of structure, a bit of teamwork, field skills, everything that scouts used to give people too. Great. And again, I've said this 100 times. If I had known cadets existed when I was young, I would have loved to have been a cadet. But I wasn't. It can teach you the language military to an extent. Peter, Banjo, I did cadets as a teenager before I joined. One of the things I've seen with cadets is a lot of Lords of the Fly sort of stuff. Because of the immaturity level of those that are there, there's some dangers that come out of it. I could see it's an area where there could be real bullying. Juvenile people given power, okay, can go one or two ways. One, it can make them awesome, or two, it can be corrupted. I guess that happens with adults too, doesn't it? Jimmy, I've got to go early tonight, mate. I'll rewatch later. You don't need to, mate. You don't need to. Take it easy. You were here. Not too cow. Great to have you here. Great to have you here. What are you going to do, mate? You're going to watch Big Brother, aren't you? If you don't put a thumbs up now, team, I'll take it that you're watching Big Brother. That's what I'll do. Buckaroony always watches it, don't you, Bucko? Quinan, just do your best. They just want to see how you react and can deal under pressure with the aptitude test to see if you're fit for leadership. Yep, and it's one of those things. That doesn't make sense. Let's go back to you for a sec. Corporal Banjo, you're a cadet. I've been doing cadets for 3 years, but just want to go and do ADF gap year. What? What's going on with this lack of commitment tonight? If you're doing 3 years in cadets, doesn't that make you think this is awesome? This is what I want to do. But now you just want to go and do 1 year and get the hell out? Why do you want to do that? Is there something else that you're qualified in that you're good? You're going to be a carpenter, a boilermaker? Let us know. Westside. Ethan Andrew, best advice for someone who's not very confident in the water. Swim. Mate, it's a tough one, Ethan. It's a tough one. I'd have to say to you that doing laps across the pool, okay, is a good way to do it. Have fun. Do activities where you can control it. Be where it's chest deep and see how long you can hold your breath for underwater. You know, maybe have someone else there in case you stuff up and you have a bit of shallow water blackout. You know, try to go to where it's around neck level, where you know that you can touch if you really need to, and time yourself how long you can tread the water for. Because by doing that, okay, you'll know, okay, I can tread water for 2 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. But you just got to get in the water, dude, because there's no excuse for being bad at water. When you come to military, you have to turn prepared. Do not just work on your strengths or just, this is what I'm good at. You need to go in. You've addressed the swimming's your bad, one of your down points. You need to work on that, because when you pass that 30-meter pathetic swim test at Kapuka, which everyone passes, you know, and I understand that people have heavy bones. Some people, holy shit, sink like the Kursk. But God bless your souls. But if you've identified that's a drama, you need to go and work on that and turn up so that it doesn't become something that gives you anxiety, fear, when you then go and have a 40-minute session in the pool as a recovery session or as a high-intensity, low-impact session, and you spend half the time on the bottom on the black line. Mr. Josh the Surfer, cool name. What is your thoughts on Artillery Observer? Fantastic role. And the fact that that is a priority role. I normally don't like priority roles because a lot of times priority roles mean that no one wanted it. What I would say to you, Mr. Josh the Surfer, is if you do get in, but make sure that you go to Townsville, not to Darwin. Because from what I've heard, Darwin, okay, is not using theirs correctly. They've got them administered in their own artillery unit instead of having them out with those that they'll be traveling around. You know, so I don't know. Go to Townsville and you'll be fine. They're a good role, man. They're an exciting role. Not at the start. Think of a artillery observer as a signalman. Okay, they're not there for the gunfight. They're not. But they do have to be up there with the forward line of troops. They need to be up there to be able to see the actual target where the fire is coming from, so that they can, whether it comes from aviation, whether it comes from Navy, or whether it comes from Army, indirect or direct fires onto a target, and they will talk about the battle damage assessment. Does it need some more? Or is that mission complete? But you'll do that to take the burden off the platoon sergeant, platoon commander, while they're talking about seeking out enclosement with that enemy or threat, so to speak. And you'll be doing it in a team of 2 or 3. I don't do podcasts. I sort of see this is actually like my podcast, mate, you know, but it's the video as well. It's just that I don't send this off to an outside agency. I don't send this off to Spotify. I don't send it off to iTunes, etc. And what do we think about that? I spoke today with Lauren about this. Joe Rogan. How come with this $100 million Spotify deal that he's got, you're not seeing Spotify getting anyone else, trying to migrate anyone else? They're not poaching anyone else from YouTube. That's pretty scary. Does that mean that Joe is mandatory, has to leave YouTube, but the only way you're going to hear Joe from now on is if you're on Spotify and that's it? Because if they don't take anyone else away, this could be really destructive to Joe Rogan's career. And him and the people he gets on are the voice of reason. You learn so much. If you haven't got Joe Rogan in your life, you need to get it on there and make sure that you listen to it. One of the most influential videos I ever listened to, on Joe Rogan was with Christina Hoff Sommers. I never thought that I'd be sitting for 3 hours listening to a feminist talking with Joe Rogan, but I gave her a chance and I listened all the way from Sydney to Newcastle, and it was fantastic. I learned a lot. Timmy doused. Bucko's gone. Is he going to do his own? MP Kaz, do you reckon with the global situation we should increase the number of personnel in the ADF? Short answer, yes. The country needs more people employed. The country needs more emergency workers. Our society needs more people with their heads screwed on a little bit better. You know, what better way than to bring people off from the brink of being too far on the left, then bring them back into the center at least? It's not like we're allowed to politically voice what we think. We're just the extension arm. Now, whether they invent a different way of supersizing our military, so to speak, and don't get me wrong, we can increase our military to several million of volunteers or not volunteers that quickly. But you want to be ready, don't you? But there's also a massive cost involved. Uniforms, training, failures, shooting, qualifications, pay, accommodation, discharges. It is a Goliath organization when you consider that we only have a population of 24 million. And here's another one. At the moment, we'll use the Royal Australian Regiment for an example here. We've got less than 10,000 people, way less than 10,000 people in a country of 24 million plus. Less than 10,000 gunfighters, so to speak. I'm not talking about commandos here, and I'm not talking about SASR. Now, we have now made it so expensive to put these guys in the field or to even exist. We went from 9 men down to 8-man sections, 2 fire teams. I don't agree with it at all. The skill fade that comes with that is going to suck. But the cost of having mechanized, motorized vehicles, support teams for all of those is astronomical in resources, fuel, downtime. We already have CAV. They're the tactical geniuses on the battlefield. Let's not give them the best weapon systems. Let's give them the best weapons platforms, the best protected mobility. And then from there, let infantry do what they do best. Light infantry. Get on the ground. Do the hard work. Get to point B by day and night, regardless of season, weather, or terrain. Because the difference between armored vehicles, okay, and infantry, let's listen to this one for a second, team. I hope you're interested here. Is you've got CAV, whether they're tracked or whether they're wheeled, right? Whether they're LAVs, okay, whether they're APCs, whether they are armored fighting vehicles, etc. Whatever they decide to go with, restricted terrain will pop up for them where they cannot get across it, where they need predictable land routes that need to be secured so that those vehicles can go on these predictable routes that are open to ambushing, anti-armored ambushing, or IEDs, etc., or indirect fires on them. That's not the same with infantry. Infantry can go unrestricted across water, swamps, creeks, rivers. We can do it all, by day or by night with hardly an effect on mission whatsoever. When we work together, then the armoured vehicles, the column gets up to an area using engineers, using infantry. We'll do a defile drill and we'll clear that obstacle using the infantry, the gunfighters. And then once it's clear, with those armoured vehicles, weapon platforms in a position of overwatch, then they can move back to where they're safe again. All right. So there is a massive difference in the capability that is given between the armour and that of infantry. Infantry, naturally, are also vulnerable. But they're two completely different roles. One is very, very physical. The other one is very logistically demanding. And the armoured vehicles cost an absolute fortune when we could have left the battalions. We could have left them to be light infantry. Hey, JC, all the best, mate. Enjoy your coffee. Enjoy your donut. I don't know if you saw the other day, we dropped off the donuts for the boys in blue at the High Street at Penrith. I don't know if they appreciate it or not. An APS lass was the one that received them and didn't get so much as a thank you. Went there, tried to do the right thing, and all she was, name, number, why, no worries. Took the donuts. Maybe she was going to take them all for herself. There was more than 20. But, it wasn't a response. I would have rather a policeman actually be the one that received them from me, but I didn't get a choice. Anyway, we tried. Thank you, Patreon. Ethan Andrew, any tips for the assessment day? Got mine in a few weeks. Have a look at my assessment video. Have a look at the U session assessment video. Also have a look at the PFA. Also have a look at everything that I've basically look at everything, because it'll answer those questions, but it'll also give you a confidence. So if they ask you a question, that any information you've seen in my videos, your caddy, so to speak, can flow into your head and you go, yeah, I got an answer for that. Bang. And you'll be fine. And you'll be calm. And you'll be told yes, unless you've got something hanging out your butthole, or you've got a hernia, or you've got a hernia with asthma in the hernia. unless you got a hemorrhoid, that's beating like it's got a heart in it, then you might not have a chance. If you get in and say, I smoke pot and I want to get in and I want to be a sniper because one shot, one kill. Oh, that's the rhythm I like. You're not going to get in. See you later, JC. All the best, mate. Where are we? Sticky. I've thought about the possibility of having light, heavy, and mechanized infantry. Well, there's only light. There's only light infantry, really, because light is everyone that is not motorized and mechanized. Everyone else, you might as well take it as though they're heavy infantry. Heavy how? Heavy logistics. They don't carry more. Light infantry means that a light infantry battalion doesn't have the vehicles allocated to them. They don't have the APCs. They don't have the Bushmasters, so to speak. They don't have the labs. They don't have the boxes. They don't have infantry fighting vehicles. What they have is a passport. They have training qualifications that allow us to go into naval, air, land, all platforms, all in the same day. No dramas at all. And then from there, we can diddy mow across that unrestricted terrain or very restricted terrain to everyone else except us and appear on the other side of the horizon like that, course of action. Third one, Falklands, take the threat by surprise. Nathan Davis, hey, Kaz, first time tuning into the stream. Good to have you here, Nathan. What's important to you? Let us know. I want to be a pilot. You're smarter than me already. In the RAF, I know it's not your field of expertise, but I was wondering if you'd know of a good place to look to get some good information. If you're going to be a pilot there, Nathan, honestly, you need to go and touch base straight away, like right now. If you've got a beard, shave it off, get in there now, a hotline, and go and see the ADF face-to-face and let them know, I want to be a pilot. Because they're always after people that could possibly be a pilot, and they will either put you out of your misery real early or they'll say, come with me, son. What do I mean by that? They'll give you additional testing because you have to be an officer as well. And what they'll do is they'll see, does this guy have the smarts? They'll psychologically screen you. They'll put you at the top of a list, and they want to get you as early as possible, like a rugby league player, like a professional athlete. And then from there, what they'll do is they will give you everything, every opportunity to be selected. Because you're a combat multiplier, mate. If they can get you into that role and you have the smarts, it's good for everyone. PK, the favourite Chewy. Mike, Mike Flynn, good to see he is a free man after the deep state. Mike Flynn, yeah. Man, what I don't understand is how many million people you've got in prison in the US, yeah? G'day, Will. I see you there, mate. When you see most, I think all of them pretty much on the left, completely corrupt, you're like, well, my kid is in the jail getting butt pounded because he went there for doing A, B, C, or D. These people, Hillary Clinton and everything they do, how corrupt are they? You're going, how are they not in jail? What is happening from the left right now is open sedition and no one's stopping them. I do not understand it. I don't. Is it their constitution has tied their own hands? I don't know. But if they get this wrong, they're screwed, and so are we. It's a lot scarier than people realise, I tell you. Steph, Kaz, hey Kaz, what's your opinion about migrants in the ADF? Is life harder than an Aussie in the army? Is life harder? I'm not sure what you meant by that, but immigrants in the army, let me tell you something straight up. I think that is a beautiful way, a fantastic way to give back to your country, the country that's gaining. It is a way of showing the country. You've got to be able to speak English, of course, but what better way than for a child of an immigrant to come here and give service to the country where they learn and get taken in by Australians in hardship and turned into that proud guy or gal with the Australian flag on their arm. I was going to talk about that earlier. Some of the things that concern me is, should you be allowed to be a politician in Australia or the world if you don't have any children? You should not be able to be someone at a political level unless you have children, for starters. Have to have children. There has to be something that is bigger than you that you can potentially lose if something goes wrong. Where do you get these thoughts from, Kaz? Well, how about Rome? Okay, the best empire, the best civilization that's ever lived. Cities of marble. You couldn't get to certain levels of power unless you had children. And the expectation was that you'd also done military service yourself, or that your children were actively in the military as well. It meant there's a dog in the fight. It meant that the people like Joe Biden, for example, he's just a helpless puppet. That I actually feel sorry for him. He doesn't even know where he is at the moment, and he's being used big time. And I can see what's going to happen. And mark my words. Okay, this one could end us getting us shut down here, Jay. But I'm going to do this one for you because he likes the politics too. Hello, lovely Angela. Maybe a coffee tomorrow, my friend. This is what's going to happen with Biden. At the moment, they're using him like a riot shield. They're holding him out there. And I believe what may happen is that they are going to push him until it's the last moment where he eventually goes down with the arrows, where he gets to debates and he falls down. They expect that. They don't want him there. They're hiding him at the moment. And then from what is going to happen then is there'll be a double female candidate situation where they'll be running for the Democratic Party, where you'll have female running and a female going for of color, probably Elizabeth Warren, number one, and maybe Kamala Harris as the vice president. They're going to go for a double female card to really, really push that home. People of color and gender. I reckon that's what's going to happen. And if they got in, good luck to all of us. It's a tough one. It's tough. I hope he debates Trump's memes. Sticky, you're laughing, mate. It's some of the best stuff. They're up to over 30 now, cringeable moments that have occurred from Joe Biden, where you look at him and the way I'd rather you look at him is like he's your grandfather. And you just want to go, mate, I love your pop. Sit down. Take it easy. Take a load off. I don't mean that. Give him a hot drink. Give him a hug. Take him out in the park. He hasn't got much time left. Scott Morrison is the deep state. Yeah, maybe. He used to be. Oh, Scott Morrison. No. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know on that one. I thought you meant my old boss, Morrison. No, I think Scotty's doing as good a job as he can do at the moment, but I want to see him stand right up to the red state. My favourite food, if you know what I'm talking about. And I think that we need to go hard on that one, and we need to shake hands, and we need to not sit on a fence and let the USA know that we're here to help them, and maybe even send some people over and go, you go that way, you go that way. Have a conversation. This has got nothing to do with colour. This has got about winners and losers. At the moment, what's happening in the USA is it's like children are stamping their feet, saying, I am having a party, and the parents are actually going, oh, maybe we should give him a party. No, don't give him a party. Give him a smack on the ass, send him to his room and break his toys. Ethan, what's the board on the back wall, mate? The big blue board back there is my first ever art piece, mate. What that's called is the pain wall. And what that is a large Australian flag with a lot of my operational poetry, the poems I'd written while I was overseas. That's where all that little white scroll is, the poems. It's got a lot of little things on there. It's got all of my information about my regimental number, PM keys, etc. The battalion, the Royal Australian Regiment. Yeah, just a lot of miscellaneous information, man. My first art piece. Nicholas Jones. Hey, Kaz, also first time here. Make sure you please subscribe to the Forever channel that's here for you. And tick like if you do and thumbs down if you don't, because a thumbs down can be exciting as well. Wondering what SAS commandos do when they're not deployed. They train. They hit the piss. They make their arms bigger. And then they train again. Training exercise away from the headquarters. I read that they're rarely at their actual barracks. It's Nicholas, right on. They're always upscale in Australia or whether it's overseas. And when they get any spare time, they tend to get back and spend as much time as they can with their children and with their wives. Yep. Great people. It'd be so hard to be married to two things at the same time, SASR or commandos and a lovely wife. One of them normally suffers. Not always. The Army's trying to do it a little bit better. Ricky Middleton, Conan Peppers. Tim, I've trained many people and they nearly cried when they had to work on weekends. Had no idea of commitment and sacrifice required. That's it. It's what you do when no one's watching that determines the content of your character a lot of the times. Steph, thanks, Kaz. Hey, Sam, Sophie, I am from Italy. Love Italy. Came 10 years ago, and I'm trying to get into the ADF. Welcome. I'm part of the thin blue line already, but I want to do more from this amazing country. Steph, I'm a fan. I'm going to throw you a dry not too cow right there. Not too cow. And love your name as well. Thin blue line, we're fans of you guys. We need to be. You're there. Potentially outdoors now, looking after my front door while I sit and do this. Mate, Italy's an amazing country. It is one of the few countries in the world. If I had two more countries I had to go back to, one of them is definitely Italy. I like the people. They were nice. I got lost. I slept at the Colosseum. Then I looked at the Colosseum, and then I lost the camera that took all the photos with just about. It was a great time. Good-looking people. Kaz, where is the Hillary doll? She's just there, bro. Wait. She's always there. This was a doll that was actually made by one of my mum, who's 78 years old now, by one of her friends to give to my daughter, and Aaliyah saw it and was shit scared of it, but I didn't want to insult the lady. So what we did, instead of regifting it, I made it Hillary Clinton, and here it is, overlooking everything we do with Siri. It's her fault. She's going to go and destroy some databases now and get rid of some emails. See you later. Jonathan. I thought that said Potello then. One of my favourite drinks that no one else likes. Hey, Kaz, what's your thoughts on the 40% increase in ADF applications in the last month? That's probably normal, mate. Probably normal. You know, people want to get into something that has some, what do you call it? Some longevity to it, some sustainability, something that is different. Maybe people predict that there's troubled times coming. I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that a lot of people might be dropping out of school. You know, couldn't take the. Some people might be neglected or stunted from their schooling and dropped out of year 12. Don't know. Mode. Steph is a legend. Well, Steph, you are where I want to be. Imagine if Steph is not in the thin blue line, that she's never been to Italy, and she's actually a trucker with a hairy gut and a Pepsi instead of a Coke, sitting there eating hot chips going, geez, these people are easy to fool. Steph. Lauren says hello to Hillary. Sam, shed some Oz Cam camo and make it a female ADF. Sam, shred some Oz Cam camo and make it a female ADF. No. Peter Caden. I tried to sleep at the Coliseum when on Rockall. Pissed. I was there on Rockall too. That's right, Mr. USS Wasp. She is a criminal, and the fact that she is not in jail, you know, it astounds me. And when you watch, even when you look at their background, what happens in Arkansas, what happens in Haiti, all these things, there is no reason why these people should be breathing the air we breathe. Zulu, Shaka Zulu, fantastic name, great movie, bad for the British, one of their worst ever defeats. Hey, Kaz, what do you think of people with a conviction trying to join the army? It's funny you say that, because I think that everyone potentially, you know, what do you call it? Road to recovery, I was going to say. It depends what it's for, of course. It depends what it's for. I think it's a great place to give someone who is now matured a chance to move forward. All right. Depends what it's for, again. You know? I think it's a fantastic thing, but at the moment, what it comes down to, I think they're Zulu Shaka, is the fact that when the army is full and they don't sort of need almost anyone, when two applicants turn up and one has mild asthma and one is fine, the one with asthma's got no chance of getting in. If one turns up with a criminal history and one is squeaky clean and wants to be a pilot or wants to be an engineer or whatever, then who do you take? It's a tough gig. If we were screaming for people, if we were actually in an operational tempo where we were actually fighting and we said, let's have volunteers, understand that we're going to commute some people's sentences from the prison, give them the opportunity to come out of prison, put on a uniform, take a weapon, and then go and re-win back their honor, you'd have some tough soldiers right there. Or they'd go to town on each other. Which one? I don't know. I don't judge people until the content of their character influences myself or my life or my child or other people's kids. All right? People make mistakes, man. The difference between someone's gone to jail and someone that hasn't is someone that went to jail got caught. Someone that didn't go to jail might be a prolific drink driver, might be a wife beater that no one knows about, might be doing any other one of things that they've never been caught from. We shouldn't just hate someone because they got caught. Say, silly, you got caught. So no judgment here, mate. Tyler, hey, Kaz, got a BFA coming up, but have a serious shin splints. Oh, the army's not for you, mate, if you've got shin splints, Tyler. Any advice on how to keep training cardio without making them worse and making the 2.4 difficult? Mate, honestly, I'm thinking maybe you need to maybe you need to go to the doctor on that one, mate, because that's not something that gets better overnight either. And honestly, man, if you're going to go to the military and you're getting shin splints from a 2.4, what are you going to be like when you've got a 5K, 10K, 20K, or 40K pack march? You know, mate, I hope that one gets sorted out for you, mate. I really do. I hate seeing someone's dream, role, job, profession, stability, career disappear because of something through no fault of their own or even from training, you know, has dashed their chances on the rocks. So all the best with that one. Let me know how it goes. Jonathan, how hard is it to get into 2RA as an officer? Well, one, you've got to make it to infantry, and then you've got to do well on ROBC, and then you've got to outperform everyone that wants to go to 2RA, and then you have to be there has to be positions at 2RA. So it's pretty hard, mate. Pretty bloody hard. Just like it's hard to go to commandos, additional training for that. But what do you do? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Have that as your dream. Have your reasons down pat. Train to your reasons. And you've got as good a chance or better chance than anyone. Go for that, mate. Lions don't fail because they don't consider failure. Robbie Kent. That's what I was thinking too, mate. SBS or 3rd Commando Unit. Special Boat Service, you reckon, PK? And I joined Army Reserve, because I still had to finish my schooling. And then I went from there and I joined the regular army, meant to go in as Op 6, highest pay grade at the time. I got to Kapooka and went, I can't do that. I'm going infantry. So I kicked over and went and did infantry instead. 24 years later, I started a YouTube channel. My daughter's born on Remembrance Day. Her mum says 12th of November. I say it's 11th. And so that's all I am. It does define me. Not going overseas has defined me, but being a soldier and helping soldiers, helping people become soldiers, that's what defines me. The best thing for shin splints is take the pressure off, man. But at the end of the day, you're talking about damage to the bone in your leg, Stoddy, what do you got to say to him about shin splints? Maybe we're wishing there were more chicks here, Lauren. Poor Steph. What's going on, Steph? She all right? That's okay, Lauren. I feel like I've been talking 100 miles an hour tonight. Spanner, 85. Can you join the army as a vehicle mechanic? Yes. Do your 4 years, then join the Commando Regiment. You can, but this is the thing, Spanner. You can already go over to the Commandos, just not as a Bear Aid member, and be one of their vehicle mechanics. Right? You can already do that. If you want to actually go and be the shooter, then you also have to then go and do the course at the School of Infantry because they are infantry soldiers. Yep. Dave, hey, mate, is the army better these days? It's more political these days than what it was in the 80s because my old man's tries to talk me out of it. He was Ironside Armour Corps. There we go. Dave, it's better in a lot of ways now. Survivability, it's a lot better now. But just like the police force, it's the guns are facing in. You just have to be careful of the political fucking waste of mouths, waste of food that some of the commanders are that are trying to go for a political career while still watering down the very organisation they're meant to be taking forward. I definitely still recommend the military. I still think we have the best small army in the world. And I honestly believe that every Western world army is going through exactly the same thing as ours. So in conclusion, in summary, until you do it, until you make up your own opinion, when you have completed 4 years in the military, preferably 10, then you can answer that question yourself. But if I'm doing this in my time, after a 24-year service career, I'm not here to waste your time, mate. I'm doing it because I love it and I miss it every single day. The Sporty Nerd. Hey, Kaz, I'm off to Kapooka next month. You're going to be cold. That's the next financial year. Well done. I'm joining as an armoured vehicle crewman. There you go. What's your thoughts on that role? It's a fantastic role, Sporty Nerd. Normally Armoured Corps, I prefer people to be a little bit older. Okay? A little bit older because it is a small team of 2 to 3. There's a lot of maturity required. There's a lot of resilience required. You need to be able to converse with people in a way that is not taken out of context. In infantry sections, 8 guys that can sit around and have a laugh about anything. In a cavalry unit, then you might have your crew commander. He might be 32 years old and you might be 18. You don't have anything in common whatsoever, but you're meant to be like that with each other. So normally I prefer people to go to cav when they're 22, 23, and infantry when they're younger, around 19, 20, 21, 22, and then you're fine. Stoddy, has Hillary shut down my internet, but I have my phone? She reaches deep, my friend. Adam Simpson, I've got my G pay year medical psych and interview in 2 days. Any tips? Gap year medical. You'll be fine, Adam. Okay, unless you're a psycho. I don't give many tips for actual psych because if there is something wrong with you, personality disorder, mental health issues, it's better they know. I'm not here to give people a script for that. But I will tell people there is dangers in saying things, confession session, that you don't mind smoking pot. There is anything that talks about wanting to actually get in the military because you want to engage, prosecute a target as soon as possible. That's going to give some red flags, so to speak. You'll be right, mate. I don't know if you've got any medical issues with you. Flat feet, asthma, colorblind, autism, depression, scoliosis. I don't know. Why did you leave the army, Kaz? Ricky, I'll tell you why, mate. I left the military for the primary grounds of post-traumatic stress disorder, which was something that was a long time in festering from my time in Rwanda in 1995. Despite the fact that I went on after Rwanda, Central Africa, and went and did Interfed, did Untayet at East Timor, went over to the west of the Middle East, if that makes sense, to the Sinai Peninsula. I didn't have any other situation that broke through my armor, but Rwanda did. And I didn't realize it did until my daughter was born. And when I looked at her in the face, it was like a glass smash, mate. And there was the perfect storm was occurring, and I basically broke down. Yep. And then I went and saw the appropriate people. And then from there, I was given a chance by a major who said, "You want to come down and work for me? Do you have anything left in you?" And I said, "If you take me down there to School of Infantry, I'll give you the best year of my career." And I think I did. And then from there, I went on. And again, it was a downhill slide. And I had a good conversation, with someone who was watching out for me, who had a letter and said, "This came. We need to talk about it over a cup of coffee. And remember that people are trying to look out for you, not trying to hurt you, not trying to get rid of you. You need to listen to this. Don't fight back against it too hard. And I wish you well, son. Thanks for what you've done, and now you need to go and try and look after your family." But even after I got out of the military, it's not because of the military, but it was too much. I was too many demons. So I was a prick to live with as well, because I was always tired, always fighting on my own demons. And then I had a fantastic, probably the best mature conversation I've ever had with the mother of my daughter. And I said, "I don't want to fight. I don't want my daughter growing up seeing daddy fighting with his mum. Have you thought about a solution?" She goes, "Well, as a matter of fact, I've been thinking about a solution for a long time. How about I move in with my mum?" And I went, okay. And here I am now, deciding to make something of my life, deciding to go into my second life by helping others to give me a reason to get out of bed in the morning, to be able to give my not watered down, to give what I have back to you in an effort to try and help you out. So that's where I am now. Tyler, one of my sergeants, Kaz, told me that when he was at Singleton, you were his secco. Todd Hackett, if you remember him. It sounds familiar. There's a lot of good people, man. These days, it's easier to ask people, do they know me, than what it is if I know them. Because at the end of the day, you don't remember people normally below your rank. You remember the people above your rank because they were your mentors. You don't normally remember those that are thousands of people running around you. That's no disrespect either. Living the extra life. That's right, Lauren. Will Clifton. There are lots of 5'9" people in the army. There's a few people that are 5'9". It sucks on pack marches. But it feels good when you need leg room. You'll be fine, mate. You just make do of what you have. I was 5'10", 5'11" when I joined the army. Yeah, and now I think I'm about 5'8". compacted by carrying heavy packs. Thanks, Ricky. Thanks, mate. Mr. P, David Bradford, what's going on? Kaz, what do radio operators do in infantry? They make coffee for the platoon sergeant, for the platoon commander. They sit there, they walk a few meters behind the platoon commander, and it's like having someone that holds your mobile phone. Sorry, Jack, I saw you trying to call, mate, but we're in the middle of a stream, my man. It's like you're walking behind someone with their phone, and when they need it, give it here. Bang. Everything that you say on the radio, but everything you say as a signaller, the platoon commander owns it. If he trusts you to be that signaller, then bam. What you say can get him in the shit too. When an officer rings up, comes down the line, they're not going to say they're an officer necessarily. They will say maybe Sunray. They might say Niner, etc. But when they want to talk, they don't want to talk to a radio operator. They want to talk to a platoon commander. So you're going to be ready to beep test between the platoon sergeant and platoon commander, so to speak, and put the radio in his hand, because if it's the OC or if it's the CO that wants to talk to the PL, the platoon commander of that organisation, he'd better have that radio in his hand. He doesn't want to talk to you. And we normally pick our SIGs of people that are funny, people are able to keep their mouth shut, people are able to seal their mouth, open their ears, hear, laugh, participate in conversations around the platoon sergeant, platoon commander, but still not take any of that out to the greater unwashed, the other 28 soldiers of the platoon. So it can be a hard job from them, and sometimes they can be despised a little bit by the platoon, because they think that, oh, you just sit in there while we're out here on our guts in the rain. We'll make a. What do infantry officers do that normal infantry soldiers don't? Infantry officers do nothing that soldiers do. Their job is to be in the center. They are the brain. Consider a platoon commander is he is the, not the wisdom, that's the platoon sergeant, the senior soldier. The platoon commander, his weapon is his mind. He is the brain of that entire organization. And the sections, you think of a baby in a walker. Think of the baby in the walker, and there's 3 wheels on that walker, and they're normally at 10, 2, and 6. And those wheels stop him as he runs into obstacles, stops him from falling downstairs, runs into the cat, etc. But he's still safe, moving around bombastically in the center. That's what a platoon commander does. He decides where you stop. He decides how we're going to fight when it comes on. He gives us the orders. He is the relay of information from the OC, who is the relay of information from the commanding officer of the battalion. He's the tactician, the on-the-ground tactician. Think of him as the quarterback. He is there with the ball, and when a set move happens, think there's 3 running backs, the section commanders. Okay, he might go long, okay, he might go to the side, or he might go for a rush. You know, he's got all these different sorts of courses of action he can choose. But for all purposes, he is kept away from all the physical shit, carries the least amount of shit, because his mind, if it's fatigued, means he can't think straight. Yeah. He has the burden of command. Yeah. When deaths occur, he has to live with that as well. Okay, let's get out of here, team. Justin waits. Hey, Kaz, I just wanted to have a chat with you personally. What would be the best way to get in contact? Not too sure if you do that type of stuff. Loving the stream. Justin, we do that. We do that. Give us a few days or something. We'll get something together, or put a comment in this later, and we'll see what we can do. Normally people go through to Patreon, for one-on-one counselling, etc. But there's something else that is occurring in the back play that you guys no one knows about other than myself and Lauren. Not even Dave, not even Michael Stott, not even Mr. P knows about this yet, or Fugly. But we'll let you know soon enough. I've got no problem talking with anyone, mate, because I hate texting, as I say to Lauren. Yeah. Let's get another one more like, and that gets us to 100. And we might call that Good Night, Jim Bob. What do you reckon? Have a great week, folks. Yep, I'm going to go and ring my daughter. Say good night to my precious little girl. Yeah, there we go. Thanks, team. Thanks for tonight. Sorry about the ambush. Mucho respecto. We'll be back on again at this stage on Tuesday, and we're going to have a whole myriad of training videos come out soon that give you a chance to take on old man Kaz before I hit 50, and we'll use that as a platform to make you the best version of you. So to everyone out there, have a great weekend as we finish off the first half of 2020, but the end of the financial year for 2019-20. It's been a shocker. Okay, the grass is greener. I can feel it, but not for Biden. Take it easy, team. Love and respect to you and your families, and all the best for tomorrow. Get a cup of coffee if you can. See you later.